Hey, it's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. And the question is really simple. What do I talk about? I'm not a content creator, I'm not a social media strategist, but I do know if you are trying to make a video, maybe you want to go live or even just a post, you're going to ask yourself this question at some point, like, what do we even talk about? I want you to tell stories. I want you to tell stories. So if you're trying to get more clients, maybe you're a consulting coach, right? Tell stories about how you've helped your clients. It's obvious, but I promise you it'll be impactful. If you are author, tell stories about your books, why you wrote your book, what's in the book. Tell stories about how that book impacted your life or the impact of your life that you put into the book. Tell stories. What else? Let's say you're a speaker. Tell stories about times you were speaking. Now, if you want to get fancy and everything, you can overlay some audio on top of you speaking. I'm not that fancy, but I want you to tell stories. That's the key. If you if you get good at telling stories, you will see your connection with the audience improve. You'll see the conversion from your videos improve. You'll see a lot of areas in your life. In fact, I gotta figure out how to link videos. I do a workshop on storytelling, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to link that together. Here's where stories can be impactful for your life and business. One of the things with all these deepfakes, like artificial intelligence technology, it's being more and more difficult to be seen as authentic. It's more and more difficult to be seen as real. And I believe stories are going to be one thing that's going to be very difficult for technology, for artificial intelligence to duplicate is your stories, your experience, because it's so unique to you. Even if someone lived, it could have been your twin brother in the same city, same house, same parents. They still don't have your story. They don't have your experience, your perspective. And that's going to be important about connecting with those clients that are meant for you. Um, it's going to be difficult because you're like, well, Bruce, I don't want to isolate folks but what happened, first of all, there's 8 billion people in the world. You don't need all 8 billion. You can't even if 8 billion of those people said yes, you can't serve them all. You don't even speak their language, right? So you really only need a few thousand fanatics, people that are locked in order to have a wildly successful business. And you can multiply it past that based on the results you've gotten for those first few people. So your story is the catalyst. It's the starting point where now you're different. Now you're unique. Now you're separate. For other people in the same space, how effectively you are able to tell stories is going to multiply your effectiveness as a business owner. Even as if you're an employee, as a leader, as an individual contributor, how effective you are telling stories is going to transform your life and business. So I'm getting better at telling stories, whether that's something that happened in my past or an analogy to help you understand an idea or concept. Telling stories is that key. It's that key differentiator. Something else that's fascinating about stories, I'm no anthropologist, but when you look at any ethnic group, country, timeline, religious background, gender, any category of human beings, stories is how they connect. Any education level, any age, stories is how they connect. Even before there was written language. Stories is how they connect. Stories how we passed on uh, information. And what I think makes them so impactful is because it takes facts and it imbues them with emotion. Like, when you tell a good story, you feel that story. That's what we want to connect with our audience. We want them to feel the story. So I just tell you, hey, yeah, I helped this company improve their outbound conversion. Like, that's a fact. But if I say, man, I was in this tech startup with a unicorn and I wasn't doing very well. Okay, I thought I was going to get fired. And I really looked in the mirror and said, well, what can I do differently to get different results? What do I need to do differently to get better results? And in fact, I talk about this in my book, Better Questions, Better Clients, because the questions you ask determine the answers you find. I realized the reason people weren't connecting with me on the phone is because I wasn't talking to them. I was just reading the script. I figured out the different verticals we reached out to, and I wrote a message for that specific third vertical. Our conversion to appointment rates went up by 12%. Our deal size increased in double digits. And guess what? I didn't get fired. So when I say, hey, I'm Bruce Hill, I make sales simple, those are the examples I'm talking about because I've done it for me. And I love the chance to do it for you. And scene, right? Tell a story. Tell a story. And that's a true story from my life. It's been it's been an interesting adventure. Tell stories. Whatever your industry, whatever your background experience, tell stories. That's how you're gonna connect in this crazy, loud technology world. That's where you're gonna see your competitive advantage grow. If you need help telling stories, I will do my best to figure out how to link to the video. Even if I just put the literal link in the captions, I'm going to make sure I help you tell their stories. There's ways to tell 30-second versions of stories, 2-minute versions, 2-hour versions, but tell stories. Make that a part of your speaking. Anytime you're on a video, anytime you get behind a mic, tell a story. All right, my name is Bruce Hill. Remember, what new skill will change your life?